Hey YouTube people, just doing a quick update. Today is January 12th, 2014. It's Gavin running around. He wants Nemo. Okay, Gavin, I'm doing a video right now, okay? Just give me a few minutes. I want to start out with numbers. So today, or actually I weighed yesterday, and I was 204 point something, so 204 pounds. That's pretty good. Started this journey at 326, now I'm 304. I have a meeting at my surgeon's office in Santa Barbara, California on Thursday. Today is Sunday, so that should be exciting, I guess. Drinking my trusty Crystal Light. My favorite flavor has been the peach iced tea, and I like it. The fruit punch and stuff like that, it's a little too, I don't like that it stains, like if it drips on the counter, but it tastes okay. What else is new? So, doing better. My last video, the long one, was kind of, it was, I don't know, it was kind of a downer, I think. I had gained like 1.5 pounds after a couple of days of eating a little off target and having some beers one day. So, feeling a little bit more on target now. I was able to lose those 2 plus another couple within that week. So, so that's really good. But one thing I wanted to make note of is, speaking of weight going, my weight from my start was 326. I had mentioned in my first videos that I suspected that scale was, I don't know, I think like 5 pounds heavier than I really was. And I thought, maybe it's just me, whatever, because I usually am closer to 315 and 326, and maybe I'd gain a few pounds before I went up there. But I watched James RNY's video, and by the way, I've been following James since I thought I was going to do an RNY for my first appointment. So he was one of the first ones I followed, so shout out to James RNY. But he mentioned that when he went to his doctor, the scale was like 6 pounds higher. I wonder, and this is what I suspected before, I think they have their scales heavier on purpose. And I think maybe it's just to show the insurance that they're at a higher BMI, and so it helps to qualify people that are borderline. I'm not sure exactly what the story is with that. Maybe their scale is more accurate than mine at home and mine at the gym that say different. But okay, actually we're heading over to the airport to pick up our tickets. Turns out it's like $80 cheaper, which these tickets are only like $250. Round trip to go to Las Vegas, so we're going to go pick those up at the airport today. It's a smaller airport locally here, so it's not like going to LAX or something crazy.
I know hammer golfers.
Okay, I guess I gotta go find his golfers. Anyway, I got a new light, see here, but I have it kind of masked with a piece of paper. It's super bright, so I don't know, maybe I'll be doing videos with this brightness, but I can hardly see. So I'm just kind of covering it with this paper here for now. And so trying to make the videos a little more clear, a little easier to see. I noticed that it doesn't have as much blurry tracer kind of thing. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of all I got today. Maybe I'll add this a little bit later, but the sun's going crazy, so we'll just have to check out for now. Alright, thanks for the support, guys. I'll keep supporting and watching the vids. Shout-outs to come. Cheers. Alright, guys, I wanted to get back and tell you about, I mentioned in a previous video these baked. I had salmon and tilapia. They're pre-baked. I mean, they're not cooked, but they're in a package that you just bake, and I want to show you what they are. Okay, so this is the one I've tried. I've tried the tilapia and I have the salmon. So this one's the tilapia. See if I can show you there what it looks like. It's in a Bake Perfect pouch. So that's Gorton's Simply Bake tilapia. This is the one I've tried. This one was awesome. It actually was really, really good. You just put them in the oven on the middle rack for 27 minutes, and it cooks them, and it's got all this the seasoning and everything on top, so it just kind of blends into the fish. This one's the salmon one I haven't tried yet. But it's got the stats there. Let me see if I can show you the stats. See, I got this new light and everything's a little tricky. Over that way. So you see that. So pretty good stats. This is the stats on the tilapia one. Okay. Anyway, just wanted to show you guys that one real quick. Pretty good stuff. So other than that, what's been working? I've been doing kind of sticking to protein shakes in the morning, almost every day, at least every other day. I do a smoothie sometimes. I know that's fruits, carbohydrates, but I don't really feel bad about the fruit. Seems like my body can digest that kind of carbohydrates through this little. It's been a couple of months. Has it been 2 months? It's been a couple of months since I've been on this weight pre-op kind of journey, and I've just really found that my body just cannot process carbohydrates, especially processed, breads and things like that. It just something I've really found through this. I've never noticed as much before, but I mean it's apparent. I mean, I'm losing weight at a decent rate, and the main thing is just staying away from breads and sticking more to vegetables and proteins and some fruits. So anyway, that's going good. A couple shout outs. I wanted to say I watch CJ's videos. His stuff's pretty funny, especially after he's had a couple of drinks. It cracks me up. But still Android forever on that. Phil can appreciate that. I like the whole bit about Bill saying that well, if you want a company to tell you how to use your phone, then Apple's the one for you. It's funny, I was telling some people at work, because a lot of the people I work with, mostly the girls I work with, all have iPhones, and so they swear by it. They think that's the way to go. But I'm like, yeah, if you like a simpler phone. But anyway, I'm not here to go into that. But that was just funny. You guys brought that up in the video. The whole thing about skinning of the head, CJ, was just crazy. I'm just picturing a flap and kind of just almost got nauseous while hearing it, but it was funny as hell. Strange combination of funny and grossed out at the same time. Wonder how long that took to heal. But other than that, who else do I got out there? Bobby, kind of like Bobby's videos. I don't know, for some reason, even though I'm 33 and you're 26 or something, I can relate pretty good to some of the things you're talking about. So good job on that. A lot of people out there just starting to have surgeries. Good luck to all of you. Some new people out there. Some talk about generations. I guess I'm part of this generation of people that's coming, that's going to have surgery next month. And but I think in the end, it just matters who sticks around. I mean, who's going to stick around after surgery, post updates, help people keep themselves on track, keep myself on track. And I think as those people stay, that generation will kind of merge into one community. So the generations, I think, will merge a bit after a while, and you realize, hey, this person's not going to be on here a couple times, and then have a surgery and you never see them again. And so I'm hoping to at least post videos as we go, for myself and for other people out there for good help. We were talking last week. It was a lot of some difficult mental, depression type stuff that sets in with this. And I think that I've seen that. I'm someone who was a chubby kid, and as I grew up and got through the middle high school and into college, early college, I had gotten in really good shape. And I remember a point in my freshman year, and this is a time when you're trying to figure out who you are anyway, but I remember a time in my freshman year where I was in good enough shape where nobody would ever know that I had any kind of weight issues my whole life. And I just moved to a new place, big city with a big college, and nobody would know that I had any kind of weight issues. And I had a pretty good handle on it. I was active. I played some intramural sports. I had a class. I took a class that was either weightlifting or tennis, or just something to keep me active that way. But I remember a point where, and I've always been kind of a deep thinker, that I'm thinking, man, I lost this weight, That's always my issue. If I can just lose the weight, everything will be wonderful. And I remember having all the weight lost and not being in good shape, not having any issues with weight, but all of a sudden it's like, now what? What am I going to say is the... All right, guys, definitely been interrupted a lot this morning between my son, the wife, and everybody else, but came back with a smoothie, some blueberries, a few strawberries, some Greek yogurt, and had like a quarter of a banana. But a pretty good way to start my day. Seems to start it off well. But anyway, getting back to my point. So once I lost the weight, once I was in that shape and that wasn't an issue anymore, it's like I got in this really big depression. You're like, why would you get depressed if you don't have to worry about your weight anymore? Because it's easy to have one thing to pinpoint as the problem. Like, oh, the weight's the problem. Well, if I didn't weigh like this, I'd be able to get out there and do more, or I could exercise more, or I can have better relationships, or I can be with, this kind of girl, or I can do this, or, I would be more positive and happy, so I'd be able to do better on tests and just do everything better in life. This one thing that's always been my problem my whole life wasn't there anymore. But that wasn't the case. I had all the same issues you go through. It's just I couldn't blame it on one thing anymore. I had to really realize, hey, these are things I have to deal with, I have to cope with, and I have to do it in a way, the most positive way I could. So it took me a few months to get out of that rut a little bit, but I've learned from that. And, I'm someone who I try to have a higher level of consciousness to be aware of these times when I do feel depressed. I think of it as like a sickness, a cold, you got to treat it, you got to rest, you got to do the right things, whether that's drink water, get rest, or that's, talk to yourself, get exercise, do positive things to try to get your mind back right. So, and just realize that it's not forever. This is just some feelings I'm having now, and I'm going to get past it. That's how I've coped. Speaking of coping, as our guy up in LA, what's his name, Waffle, talking about coping skills. But yeah, coping. And I think that I had to learn right then to do it. And since then, I've had plenty of things I've had to cope with. But as the weight creeped back up over the years, and now I'm 33 years old, and I've been kind of right around like 305 to 315 for about 3 years. I mean, I've been up at this kind of weight range. So been maintaining. I mean, it hasn't been easy. Like, I've actually had to try to maintain here, where it's like, oh, well, you're that heavy, you must be just eating horribly. It's like, no, I'm just maintaining. But at this point, I'm back to a point where I think I start blaming everything. Well, the weight is why, I'm not getting promoted at work, or I'm, not, if my relationship's having issues, or, if I can't do things with myself. I don't know. And maybe some of that's legitimate, but a lot of it is blaming something that I don't know if I'm focused here, blaming something that I think is the main thing. And I think it's easier to deal with stuff if you have something to blame. And that's a stupid thing to think of. But now that I see all these people, you guys are out there, some of you have lost the weight, are doing well physically and mentally. Now it's kind of like, okay, now that's not the issue anymore. And here comes all these other issues that you've been putting away because you've been blaming it on the weight. And I've done this, and I still do this, and I will do this, I'm sure, as I lose the weight, as I lose more weight. And I just have to be aware of it up front, that that's going to happen, and be able to deal with it, and be able to, make sure I'm being a good husband, a good son, yeah, a good son, a good father, and even a better one, because I think all of us hope that we'll be a better version of ourselves when we lose the weight. So anyway, I want to share a little bit of my story that I went through then. Plenty more stories that I can go into, but that's one that really came to mind as I watched your videos this last week. But we're all on this journey together, kind of, as a community, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And I definitely appreciate all your people out there, and let's keep making videos and being healthy. So cheers. And this is to you guys. Have a great Sunday, and see you next time.